Greetings viewers, this is ERi-TV news broadcast live from the headquarters in Asmara. It's 10:30 p.m. Thursday, February 24. I'm the reporter Mira Yohannes with your daily updates, and here's a rundown of the top stories for tonight's English news segment. Announcement from the Ministry of Health. Congress of PFDJ organization in Sweden. Israel fires missiles on border positions inside Syria. UN reports global warming to drive more extreme wildfires. And now we proceed to the details for the local news. We have an announcement from the Ministry of Health. 2 patients have been diagnosed positive for COVID-19 in tests carried out today at testing stations in the southern region. Out of these, 1 patient is from a testing station in Adayih and 1 patient is from a testing station in Adhuala. On the other hand, 5 patients who have been receiving medical treatment in hospitals in the Central Region 3 and Northern Red Sea Region 2 have fully recovered and have been discharged from these facilities. The total number of recovered patients has accordingly increased to 9,584, while the number of deaths stands at 103. The total number of confirmed cases in the country to date has increased to 9,696. Ministry of Health, Asmara, February 24, 2022. Sweden branch of the PFDJ organization held its annual Congress on February 19 in the city of Västerås. At the Congress, the organization conducted extensive activity assessment meeting and elected a 7-member executive committee. Speaking at the occasion, in which about 100 representatives from 22 sub-branches took part, Ms. Zaid Obazgi, chairwoman of PFDJ Sweden branch, commended the members for strong participation in the successful implementation of national programs as well as in the fight against the spread of COVID-19 pandemic, stating that the Congress is a forum in which members review the activity of the organization and address weaknesses and underpin strengths. Ms. Zayed called on the members to strengthen organizational capacity and participation in the national affairs as in the past. At the Congress, in which Mr. Sirak Bahalibi, head of Public and Community Affairs, and Mr. Isas Gabray, head of Consular Affairs at the Eritrean Embassy, took part, extensive discussion was conducted on various issues including implementation of charted out programs, reinforcing organization and activities of the branch as well as expansion of the organization in various cities of Sweden, and strengthening resilience of citizens. The Sweden branch of the PFDJ organization comprises 30 sub-branches. Sports and Students Week, aimed at increasing female student school enrollment, was organized from February 18 to 20 in the Southern Red Sea region. The Sports and Students Week, in which female high school students participated, included sports and cultural activities as well as seminars focusing on eradicating harmful practices and activities that deter female student school enrollment. Speaking at the event, the managing director of Arata subzone, Mr. Mahmoud Abdullah, underlined the significance of organizing the event and encouraging female student school enrollment and participation in sports, and called for its sustainability. Mr. Ibrahim Saleh, head of Commission of Sports in the Southern Red Sea region, on his part indicated that the effort being conducted to strengthen female participation in sports is part of the effort being exerted to empower the overall capacity of women. He also called on parents, schools, and administrations to raise awareness and strengthen participation to that effect, noting that investment made on women is investment made on the whole society. The Director General of Social Services in the Southern Red Sea region, Mr. Hamid Ali, on his part, called for strong effort towards empowering women with knowledge and skills as well as eradication of harmful practices such as female genital mutilation and underage marriages. Parents, on their part, underlining the importance of the Sports and Students Week, expressed conviction to strengthen participation in the success of its objectives. At the end of the event, awards were handed over to winner individuals and subzones in sports activities and cultural competitions. We'll be right back with the international news after the short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Syria says missiles launched from Israeli-occupied Golan Heights struck areas around Syria's border province of Eritrea, causing material damage. A Syrian military statement did not give details about the positions that came under attack early on Wednesday. Yesterday's attack came nearly a week after Syrian state media reported a similar Israeli missile attack on an area south of the capital, Damascus. An Israeli military spokesperson declined to comment on the attack. Israel has launched hundreds of attacks on targets inside government-controlled parts of Syria over the past decade of Syria's war, but its government rarely acknowledged such operations. This is the third Israeli aerial strike on Syria this month after it targeted anti-aircraft batteries on February 9 in response to what it said was a missile fired from Syria and fired several surface-to-surface missiles targeting sites south of Damascus on February 17. According to a new UN report, extreme wildfires are set to become more frequent, increasing by around 50% by the end of the century. The report finds there's an elevated risk in the Arctic and other regions previously unaffected by fires. The scientists define extreme fires as extraordinary conflagrations that occur roughly once in 100 years. Researchers say that rising temperatures and change to the way we use land will drive the increase. The new study calls for a radical reallocation of financial resources from fighting fires to prevention. The scientists from the UN Environment Programme, UNEP, say that large fires that burn for weeks are already becoming hotter and burning longer in many parts of the planet where wildfires have always occurred, but they are now beginning to flare up in remote northern areas and dying peatlands and on thawing permafrost. This latest study says that there will be a global increase in extreme fires of up to 14% by 2030 compared to the number recorded in 2010 up to 2020. Following is a recap of tonight's major headlines. Announcement from the Ministry of Health. Congress of PFDJ organization in Sweden. Israel fires missiles on border positions inside Syria. UN reports global warming to drive more extreme wildfires. That's all from us for now. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.